Hello.
And you good day.
Thank you. I want to ask you about a process that my higher self has taken me through many times.
Yes.
It starts by me sending my consciousness through the sacred space of my heart.
Yes.
And then for a while, I was thinking I ended up in the fourth dimension by
You
doing
are
that.
in the fourth dimension now. Remember that you have 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time in what you call your 3rd and 4th density physical reality. So you are in the 4th dimension now. Maybe you do not understand the idea of dimensions clearly enough?
I hear what you're saying. I just feel like when I go through the space of my heart, I'm maybe it's that I'm no longer in the third dimension. Or what is the space that I'm in?
You are talking about ideas of density, not really dimensions.
Okay.
So you are shifting when you take the consciousness and filter it through the space in your heart, you're shifting more into 4th density.
Okay.
That's the higher level physical reality. Yes?
I think so. I think I get it.
All right.
Okay. From there, I meet. Some of this seems maybe metaphorical. I'm not certain, but
All right.
I feel like I meet with my higher self.
Well, yes, that's not metaphorical.
But there's usually some kind of physical representation.
And that's fine because the higher self may realize you need that particular image as a permission slip for the communication to occur more easily for you.
Sure. Okay. And then my higher self typically shows me it's like I'm above planet Earth, and
Yes.
there's a pointing towards the Earth, and I
Yes.
follow where it's pointing, and I land in, well, I call it a scene, but it's probably just a parallel reality of me at in some other
Yes.
different age sometimes.
All right, yes, and this is a typical perspective for the higher mind to be able to look into the different chambers of time, yes.
Okay. So it's a chamber of time where I'm looking at a scene of something that is occurring.
Yes.
And it's for me to look at a belief that no longer serves me.
All right.
So
That is a wonderful technique.
It's been very helpful. So after I'm done looking at the scene, I'm presented with something probably metaphorical. It's a big red button.
Yes.
And I press the button, and the scene breaks apart and disintegrates.
All right. How creative.
What happens? Is anything happening when it disintegrates?
Yes, you're rearranging the template reality so that your physical reality will follow suit. You understand that everything physical starts in the template level energy, non-physical reality. There is like a blueprint reality that is non-physical from which physical reality takes its form. So by creating this kind of a scenario, you are reconstructing the blueprint so that physical reality can change based on the changes in your belief systems that you have now let go of.
That makes sense.
Yes, I know. That's why I said it. Does that help?
Yes.
And?
Very much. Okay, I'm going to move on. Many years ago, I had a dream where I met with a being who I felt very familiar with.
Yes.
But it felt like the greatest love I'd ever felt.
Yes.
And this being, his name is Zeph.
All right.
It's probably shortened, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
It's
it right.
representative as a vibration, sufficient enough to use as a name if you wish.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who this being is to me.
Yourself in another reality. That's why you were so in love.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, how psychic of you.
Well, I was hoping that it wasn't myself.
Why? Does that take away from its autonomy? No, it does not. It's its own being too. Every expression of consciousness is autonomous and self-aware. So it's its own being. That takes away nothing from the idea of its autonomy just because it's also a reflection of you in another form. And you are a reflection of it in another form. Doesn't take anything away from you. You understand? This
Yeah.
and that, not this or that. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Does that help?
Yes.
And
And I want to ask you about the type of energy healing that I do.
all right, which is what?
It's called Etheria.
All right. And is this exciting to you, an expression of your passion?
Definitely.
Can you be doing it in a more passionate way than the way you're doing it?
Yes.
And what will that look like?
I wanted to ask you about it.
Well, how would you rather be doing it?
No, I wanted to ask you about the origins of it.
The origins of it. That specific practice
Yes.
goes all the way back to Atlantean times.
And I wanted to ask you about the beings that I work with.
Yes.
Who,
What about them?
Who are they?
Well, sometimes they are spirit guides. Sometimes they're other kinds of being that have affinity to those kinds of energies and may have worked with them in other lives, such as masters from Atlantis or other civilizations that are familiar with those energies and are sort of taking you under their wing as an apprentice to help guide you. Yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Will that do?
Yes.
Well, thank you, Zeph.
Thank you.